This is Chariot TV.
Ebusiafo ya sanso ehia mu biom ene Chariot TV muhumi ache em ye sure someone femi na menso mafemo papa the last time I shared was 2024 internet to be it's just in its place for me to wish you all a happy new year yamamu nyina mo afishia pa yeda onyankopon asese odin ahyen afefoforo mu January na meje mahome eja na me will leave into no mo ahumi ana the producer ma me leave into no afi no maba and we are back with the bang into no Montamu Kuchu. We have so many programs packed up for you this year. Now, as time goes on, I will let viewers know of the program schedule we have for the year. But and then, Safi and I will join in. We are live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on all the other social media platforms. We are live on YouTube also. So you can see on the screen. We are also live on Instagram. Instagram, we are not so active there, but your followers can find us there. We are also live on X and as a formerly Twitter. And so, baby, I will share if you let us know in the comment section, and we will definitely bring you into the discussion as time progresses. Yeah, mamu na wakwa baby, action time because then you may be and we have a very interesting discussion on our hands. We want to discuss abortion. You can't say abortion. What is it? In fact, it's a program we know it's dedicated to the youth. And we are mindful of the issues that affect the youth. And abortion is a very sensitive topic, not just to the youth, but to other or to all individuals. Na ye pese ye baby mu, ye baba mu, ye baby mu, na ye pensen mu. So we wouldn't want to rush this topic. We are looking at this topic from three different perspectives. First of all, ye from the medical perspective, then we will look at the legal perspective and as the legal viewpoint. And then finally, we would conclude by summing everything up and then looking at it from the biblical perspective. How do you make it the final, you better draw the final conclusion because as you know, we have to make sure that it aligns with Onyankopon Asem. But first of all, we would want to look at the other perspectives in terms of the professions and as a medical and then the legal viewpoint. Nothing only action time. Now we are promising you a very interesting discussion. I have today with me a professional, a medical professional, and Meneno Ebe have a discussion. He's very new. He's not new on Chariot TV. More viewers and ardent viewers, but on Action Time, he's a very new guest that I have. He's not one of our regular guests, but I would introduce him. And then with time, you guys will know who I am talking about. So, me wasted time. Me invite a year, me guest me no eba have this discussion. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, brother.
Na apomwe. Oh yes, me hear me to say yes. Ahoden e wo hoye de Nyankopon ase papa. Na me sure say Oma Chariot TV on several locations in there. This voice and this face should definitely be familiar. But for our viewers on Action Time, some people might be wondering who is this? A brief introduction about yourself before we begin. So that people or viewers will have a fair idea of who we are dealing with.
Okay. Yo, me that's it. Medical otherwise it will say when you invited me to your program. It's a privilege to be part of this program. Me at the list of Safo Ababio na Ba a year, my gun and one free a year, everyone say Ashanti region. When I'm go school for so many years. Na me did a 2 point about America. Na me o Christo ni mawari me ma miensa yakopon adaroma na said your kind no me a medical doctor wo America hanum.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah, that was a papa. In fact, in terms of all kinds of people, we have so many professionals, we have so many scholars, we have so many learned people, and we have fantastic preachers of the word as well. It's MNJ Panse and watch a penny yes only ebesua adie efa this issue of abortion no so ene ana only edi kan I share program and as on a share program yeah the best say obe like a page you know baby I will show you Phoebe and say YouTube or say Facebook or just like the page for us and then share the link to others as well. Your best say Monyasa and Farmer and said the some more people will come onto the show and then benefit from the topic and the discussion. Yes, straight into the discussion. So we are looking at abortion from the medical perspective today, but subsequently, we will be looking at other perspectives. But and then we are just looking at it from the medical perspective. So, Dr. Safo, when we talk of abortion, for those of us who do not really know what abortion is, can you shed some light? What is abortion, medically speaking? But mesre, say I am medicine and terms, was so me maintain in the local language in Emamia. I'll be really, really grateful. But if it is not possible, meaning that terms to be more adding, so you can still maintain it in the English language, but as much as possible, break it down for our viewers.
Okay. Me that's Emia Obed or as Mr. Usame. Let me say because abortion it's abortion a general term a kasebia a general say oba afefro na abofra no asay and our brofun because say pregnancy termination general and because abortion a pregnancy termination now it can be either spontaneous say no assay and I say deliberate say I say intentional say be obi asheda why they be now what say a year abofrana or share your fumo. And so abortion in general terms, is pregnancy termination, could be either intentional or deliberate or spontaneous. Internal tete no say many funny abortion the meka afa hon.
Okay, so say abortion no say obi afa yefunu yedi kan na yefunu na wafa no for one or two reasons
I say
that is the first part. So I think in simple terms, I think that is what we can give it. So whether the person intended it, say ni panankasa the person or say yefunu and now say nature, some of the maybe a cause to pregnancy nimuna ema yefunu essay, we classify all of them medically speaking under abortion. Am I right?
That's right. That's
okay.
correct.
Okay. I always get fascinated about this topic. So, when did abortion enter into medicine proper? Meaning, say, Bibia or some historical perspectives, and I say how things transitioned from ABA traditional practices, and then finally they were formalized into our formal medicine and as a medical practice. You know, the person of mine, I know, say you may not have everything,
Yeah.
but as much as you know, as far as you are concerned, you know, what are some of how did abortion and as the practice of the medical practice of abortion enter into formal medicine? Just give us a brief historical background.
Okay. When we say ABI, because of the different types of abortion, no.
Okay.
Now, you know, about a year, the historicity and I say, quite abortions, shall ne by now. Say, unsaid because say abortion generally, you know, a termination of pregnancy. Say,
that's right.
Baby, and you now, whatever I say. Now, sir, abofra say, you know, has been as ancient as, you know, because Methuselah.
Okay.
Idea pregnancy and I say a war, we are quite war so not for some reason, not I say so I said that and I say BBC and what say no. Idea akoso for so many years. In fact, you heard a year yenanamo ebreso all the way back to like Lamech, you know, for Bible more side. I mean, say if we see history, started free, biblical times, and Sana, right. You know, about because some extra biblical said this extra and say, yeah, Janum Kran and Mamma warrior mono, na a be empese, you know, mobile into some monima, or more people a hammer. Na, I must say about Frana or share your fum. Wow. It was one of the things that Unyankopon said we are say corrupted. You know, Genesis 6:1. Sa corruption, you know, na sa no money de account will be. Anna oba a year, even you know, other Asian worlds like India, you know, even the Chinese, the Caribbeans, even Chromo, you know, near so Africa. Na enkofo was they call it herbs or abortifacients. Okay. So abortifacients, you know, from the word abortion, abortifacient. It's in there, maybe we use to terminate deliberately though. Deliberately. That aspect of pregnant abortion, you know. Now omudi say a year mofrano. And about the indeliberate and I say unintentional aspect things were I mean definitely you know bones say a na bofrana de I say and say church them a different types of abortion it do meka a honum no na about a year you know this part of the world if I say the Western world America even Europe abortion I go through, you know, like stages.
Okay.
You know, abortion has gone through stages of say via yeah, okay, and I say yeah, okay. You know, it has gone through stages. Now you hear, you know, if I say during the world wars and the time of the Depression era, you know, or how is a man no. In fact, on my baby Emma Quine say Omonyima say nam depression a course no say Omuntimin crab of Frana or bit my day. Hey.
For those of us who are not students of history, what depression era? What are you referring to?
Okay, to be referred to on say a back semua ye were a bra or how be bread a bear we say.
Okay.
Now that era no sa a bread no and yet bread back.
Okay.
In stages, me fan say if World War I, abra okun esiye.
Perfect.
I di kind no.
Yeah.
If World War II, abra okun siye I tosu mienu no. We are talking about somewhere in the 1900s.
That's
you
right.
know, 1900s, 1910, 1925, even around 1940. And before the 1900s, I feel a pim ahan kronim ho no any afia pem ahan wotwim ho no those were times that how ebaye say entokwa say ye come, but mostly na entokwa isi amama mu anase across nations. Into sabre dru no say entokwa si ohaba into even though no na omom pene so na nya de na ye common say obi ko obi say nyi na nya bofra no benam that time into no they just allowed it. But after those depressive eras in the echo, and guess what? Almost start tightening up. Say, oh, yeah, my obesity, that's where they say, oh, ye abofre egu. That is an intentional aspect. Obesity, that's abofre egu. And it has gone through those stages. Yes, abortion has always been there. Say any money mu, say the papa mu ni say be a baby abofre say on its own. When the born him say be a shedder, na bibian and ha no idea now it has gone through those stages.
I think one thing stood out for me when you were talking. Make mention of you cited the issue with Ashasiano that before I think Genesis chapter 6 you were making reference to that. Say sad time anymore. Niema ekahumpo nyankopon eka said the intent and the thoughts of man were continually evil, as we read from that particular passage. Sad termination of pregnancy, deliberate. Also, you emphasize that say sad deliberate termination was even part of the reasons, though it wasn't explicitly stated. But sad time it's very interesting. In fact, I am really getting a fuller picture of abortion, the genesis of abortion. As we say, the book of Genesis contains the beginnings of almost everything we have on earth, both good and then bad. So that was the papa. Let's say something now. What about a program? So a high action time, my baby, and we are having a very interesting conversation with Dr. Listo Safo. Safi Anna or join here, just share the link to others and also drop in your comments, and we would find time and then read them if your time will not permit. But we will go straight and then zoom into the other aspects. So you made mention of the fact that during the depressive times, that is now we've shifted so many years, we are now in the Western world. Now, during the depressive times, because apostle and all that, usually akumba and mema naya akun, a man or motene say be anon yamana bibisa because a mema in Nihonomoa omo ebebwa ashe a year and mofrano. And traditionally, men have been known to be breadwinners. Because of that, it promoted the use of we use in abortifacients, and using those herbs that terminated pregnancies, and I said practices that deliberately terminated pregnancies. So those were the times that the seeds of abortion probably began in the Western world. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. That is very interesting. So it's an eye opener for some of us who are students of history, just to trace it back. Now, how the medical practice. When we thank you so much for giving us such a history. So now I'll move on and talk about the different types of abortion I have. In your definition, you made mention of intentional, spontaneous, deliberate termination of pregnancy. Can you shed more light as far as the different types of abortion are concerned?
Okay. Midasi, thank you for that. And I'm very happy that, you're asking me this question, because sometimes, when we are talking about abortion, it's very sensitive.
Yeah.
And most times people dwell on, abortion as just like the deliberate aspect of abortion. The deliberate aspect of abortion, people call it like elective abortion. Some even call it induced abortion.
Okay.
It be, try to, if you might make it a little bit like, if mystically make it a little bit like, okay, people call it medical abortion or medication abortion. But Nina no comes under the umbrella of, deliberate or intentional or elective abortion. Elective is more, more common usage of what we know as, abortion. Now, the other aspect of the person we come once we crowd, then we come to the elective abortion here, we call it spontaneous abortion.
Okay.
Spontaneous abortion. On says our fresh year from we have stages of development. We have the zygote, we have the embryo, and then we have the fetus, and then the baby, a child is born.
So for Mr. Usually may interject talk patch me. So the old patch, I think if I got you right, old patch said so Bemani or Beshia ewo empem na Obemani hunsu koka obano kusiana amunumu wa stenyankopon ya adom na se insuo no etimi eborura kusia ni mu a efomo eye mujatwa Bible kan ho asem ewo the book of Jeremiah
and the Psalms.
Mujatwa oda na eye mujatwa na minemu. So that mujatwa na our friend zygote no.
Yes, zygote or embryo. In fact,
embryo.
What kind of Psalms now or you see embryo. So the zygote, zygote near the early parts na ebenyini cry your friend embryo.
Now, usually, people have. I want to understand. Doctor Michelle will say I have to bombard you with questions. I meant to say. So people usually say mujatwano, unse informu nipanin wie. So can you really call it termination of pregnancy? You can't pregnancy and kasankasa. Before you talk about the spontaneous abortion, me pese what saying. So you can't say be a pregnant. I know that in so many ideas. Obi one more say, senefunin pia who saw a pregnant. So in the cap will be one. I said pregnant will be a pregnant. I know that it's a very trivial question. I say it's we don't really think about it. But what is it? When do we say someone is pregnant, medically speaking?
Yeah. And again, thank you for asking me this question because it's something that, of course, as a Christian, it's also on my heart. What determines what pregnancy is, because it will be a fair fruit as well. Say the Oshas, say come up, say, abra abofra, abra oba nikusiano, eyi na beman hunso ene oba no kusiano. In fact, let me give you something interesting here.
Okay.
There's an article that, I think an article that I wrote, or maybe something that I discussed in terms of sermon or something, that I call the patience of man. The patience of man. And he said, man, God created us to be unique in terms of patience. Man, I was saying, patient, if I'm more patient than women. Of course, am I patient? But technically, a man is patient. The reason why I make cancer with this aspect is say, but this year, I did about come still in your say, "O me many who say, God should open my eyes to see Him, the scriptures in medicine." And because Nyakupon say, God helped me in that way. So I understood medicine in a very unique way. Okay. It's about a year conception. Okay, on say oba kusue itoa. It doesn't last. Okay. So ba o menstruate here. During menstruation, that's because you are ba ansana apai amana menstruate. In this kusiane ba, that's a baby be spend maya and the man menstruate here from menstruation.
Oh, but, okay.
Exactly. But the kusiane ba, that's the baby man who's etitewa. That will fuse it and the baby will be formed.
I see.
And oba kusia enche. But a man's sperm can live in the fallopian tube of a woman for some days, like 2-3 days, even 3 days.
Hey,
It will
3
go
days.
out.
Mission.
Not that's it, or he's waiting for the egg, and that's what I call the patience of man. Okay, it will be hard. You know, no, baby was and many that I could pay. You know, many right down. Na me nya any day. I say me nya no me unsafe period. No, the sperm was waiting for you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. So the egg is impatient, but the sperm is very, very patient.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Pause there for us. Yeah. In fact, it's very interesting. The patience of man. I would like to have a hold of that article. I think
no problem.
It will be very, very enlightening. That was it. I feel now one may say you've missed so much, but it is still not too late. There are more things to unpack in this discussion. Dr. Listo Safo Abebio and Eshiemu Action Time, and we are currently discussing abortion from the medical perspective. We have looked at the definition. We have gone back in time and looked at the historical background of abortion, and we have discussed so many things about what it even means to be pregnant. In fact, that is what we are currently discussing, and we are looking at so many dynamics. In fact, as the discussion goes on, we will try and bring in important or relevant issues associated with abortion. One of those relevant issues is pregnancy. We have to define what pregnancy is, because in the definition of abortion, there is the key word pregnancy, termination of pregnancy. So we have to first know what pregnancy is. And Anna, Dr. Abebio, or my explanation. So yeah, doctor, you can proceed. So now say we are very patient. What do you say? Because you are no longer, or you are not in your period yet. It's only Bemani share once. What do you say? No one there or tehonomo a channel. So you can proceed and give us explanation how things working there.
Okay, Ebra. Because you know any sperm fusion, we call that conception. Okay, so at that point, a child is formed. So think about it, right? Think about it. And at that point, people think so. Or at that point, about fra and for me, because about from for me, is when they are thinking about what sending Saho, it's your the Naho, near from but. Sir, the nine is in it a free infant and they could do that point, and at every stage, that's what we call it development, right? Development. Even Sabofra or Abofra Krana, not about friend Towa, we still call it develop. The child is what? Developing, right? Obe we are, Obe Nante. So at that point now, or we are no only Nipana. So sorry, so Nanti or Nantia. At that point, no only Nipana. So do 8 years at that point before the no partner, so we humans have always been developing until what? Death. Okay. Wow. Until death was from conception to death, we always develop. There's never been a timer, a Nipa will say to develop, whether physically, biologically, socially, mentally, even spiritually. We develop, and at the point of conception, a child is formed. I know, say, you can't about, the Bible aspect, but also I'm say, like at that, when, like I say, a baby or pregnancy, I say now, when a child is formed, I was say 40 years, a child, okay, Nipa, we are made up of 3 main components. Okay. 3 main components, right? Main Bible baby because obi beba can. 3 main components here: blood, water, and spirit. Okay. Blood, water, and spirit. But biologically, me can medicine say more. Me can even Bible no. Medicine wise, a child or the developing child is made up of about 80% water.
Wow.
Okay, even our bodies are made of 2/3 of our body is what? It's water, right? It's a child, water and blood and spirit. In fact, but Nyankopon say more or say the body without the spirit is what?
Dead.
It's dead. In conception, that is the body, physical wise. Without any spirit, without the spirit of God, there's no life in that. So that developmental stages, in fact, again, we can kind of Ecclesiastes we can say the yenim a kwanya onyankopon ba abofra dompem no. So the spirit of God comes to a child that is formed. It's now quote Jeremiah and onyankopon can say before form no idea now anymore. It's conception. A child is what is formed. Every step of the way, from conception to death. Nipa, what mean I say? Okay, no conceive and zygote nipa. Okay, what mean I say? Embryo nipa. Okay, what mean I say? Fetus nipa. So then, at which point, I know where nipa.
That is an interesting dilemma because when people talk about star issue now, they are always referring to the zygote as an immaterial blob of blood. That is what the phrase they usually refer it to. To most people, almost say, oh, moja bikeke, I say moja toa bikeke, and nipa. They say it is not human. But from the way explaining, and I just say, I think we have to take a second look at it. For those who think, say, at that time, at that period, at the time of conception, say, Beman hunsu ni oba no kusuya ne shie mo no, moja no aform no, sa time no, nipa ana aform no, enye moja keke, that's enye moja twa keke. So it is very, very revealing. I am very, very thankful that we be that partner actually for any for.
Because think about it, right? Think about it. Say when is the sex of a child determined? Okay, when is the sex of a child determined? And then Job can say me or say, I curse the night I was conceived, and they said a boy child is conceived.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember. I think Job. I think it will be very good we read and then we provide the scripture part, make high part that particular point. But you continue. So
Job 3.
Yeah.
Job 3, 1, 4. No. So
Job 3, 1, 4. Okay. I'll say after this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. And Job said, may the day perish on which I was born, and the night in which it was said, a male child is conceived. Wow.
You see that?
Amazing. So conception at that time is when the sex of the child is determined.
Exactly.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay. So again, it's very, very important that sometimes we try to find things to defend what we believe what we want to do. But we cannot run away. Tell me, can I say before before exactly. And now share before I better womb no idea.
I see.
It's before no develop better womb no idea. We cannot eat our cake and still have it. Like logically. Okay, logically, what did we be able to in say? Oh, we are rational human beings. Also, what translate we say it makes perfect sense. So, at the point of conception, a baby is what? Baby is formed. It's just development, right? It's just development, and we develop every single way. Okay.
I see. Wow. So we've established what pregnancy is. So there cannot be any ambiguity or be any one man about pregnancy. So a pregnancy at time akusiano and your beman who's whether unimo,
Yep.
you are pregnant. And at that point, all the things are in here for a human being to develop has been formed. So any attempt we will look at that. But I just want us to establish, say, the point of pregnancy, and that's when we say someone is pregnant, just as you said, is at that particular crucial point. So after we've established that, now let's go ahead and talk about spontaneous abortion. And I said, the medically, more friend of spontaneous abortion. I think that your friend in other words, we have other ways of going about it. I'll ask you another question, but you go ahead with the spontaneous abortion. Explain it to us. How does that happen?
Okay. In the spontaneous abortion, we have two main types of abortion. Abortion, main. Now, back when you're spontaneous, no back when elective, and not induced, and not, deliberate. Okay. You spontaneous, don't say as in the word, and no one ever. So it is defined as the loss of pregnancy. But usually, it is determined by the gestational age. Okay. Because the gestational age, a year in fear and answer a bra about friend Edru Ewo Ninimu.
Okay.
Okay. On say the fair gestational age is obeying Omo esha say kind every the last menstrual period. Into normal count everyone, but they count in weeks.
Okay.
Into first week week 1 gestation, week 2 gestation, week 3 gestation. It become a gestation, but gestation, yeah. Into gestational age in a baby about friend drew a one.
Okay.
Into the spontaneous abortion and answer about friend say and no eba. I knew been a day a hanono. Usually normal place at gestational age 20.
20, okay.
20. A medicine mono.
Okay.
20. The intimidation 20 they say medicine mono mujidi say before 20 years about frano babontina won't be survive it.
There's all 20 weeks.
20 weeks. Sorry, yeah, 20 weeks. Before 20 weeks, about frano babontina unsurvive it.
Okay.
After 20 weeks, omujidi about frano spontaneously or no babontina a beer with my dear I survive it. It's a guy spontaneous abortion a year about what yanyim no now was say before 20 weeks on yimnimu 20 weeks gestation.
So what is the difference between spontaneous way and a miscarriage?
Okay, very good. It is spontaneous abortion and no one your friend of miscarriage,
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes. It is spontaneous abortion. Another term is miscarriage. It's miscarriage. Another spontaneous abortion, about 4 hours say before 20 weeks. Okay. Now, spontaneous, abortion, obviously, it could be due to so many reasons, right?
Yeah, that was what I was coming to. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the reasons?
Yeah. If you all know me say be chromosomal abnormalities. The chromosome enipa say when me etiwe no. The me nipa no a shall say a free baby.
Okay.
A shall say free the gene level because the gene will tree when you say gene no a year a debia or yankupon bo nipa no. Or did doom nipa a ma a formia na say a yinia ma yebe nipa.
Okay.
It's no gene level no sa gene no na esesa. Esesa na abeye protein. The chromosome no ye me fan say gene no ne kese mu me fan say ni chromosome. It's no chromosome no gene no na esesa na abeye protein.
Okay.
Into some be protein. About 4 hours share your food no. The gene is some be protein na protein no abeye cells.
Okay.
Enti be cells na cells no so ate sa ka ho boma na be tissue.
Okay.
Enti tissue no ka boma na afi abeye organ.
Okay.
Enti organs no enti no organ bi ne heart, you know, like liver, wakra, wakoma, you know, na afi organ no come ho bono be organ system. Enti afi na organs no de mo come ho bomu ayi adwuma wo body ni mu.
Into not just say the whole kind of year, not just say the gene is the command center of the whole makeup of the human body.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Na, you know, shasia no be the no organs ni come on be organ system afi no be nipa. No obi wo ho a ye nyem na asahye na no na gene no ebia ekeka bomu na form no nipa no ebia na bi atochima. Okay, sometimes na bia on say we are in a depraved world.
Very good.
Nipa asay ewiase onyankopon bo nipa na enye sanoma we nyina no ni ho.
Yeah.
Benam say asay ewiase into sometimes the chemicals in the air, the substances and normal wo wiase wo wie mu normal ehome aduane ayedie. You know, obi wo ha onom cigarette, obi wo onom nsa. You know, Bible ha onyema, you know, oye nema bia ense dwene bia nkoto odie. You know, obi wo ha fie otimo no bia sebi ni kunu onom cigarette akuha. You know, nti sanu mani nyina betimi a change that command center, that gene level no betimi ma no bia dey asesa. So amma formation about formation enye be enye enti no onyine no onche ne no a ede be aba abontre
out. Wow.
And you know we have that congenital and maybe no so the same thing about formation maybe and the no and for me ye into both be an adwene no sebi na be adwene me no kwa adwene akwa ba ko. Okay, we call it an encephaly. Okay, you know, it's not adwene akwa ba ko afi no so adwene ba ko no time for me ya but friend to me enyini ye it was no about bontene. And you know we have, you know, those things, you know, of course medicine wise, you know. So obi enya miscarriage that and no so a risk factor. More, you know, miscarriages. We have advanced age, for instance. It means my miscarriages. Obi
advanced age o patches obi when you insane.
Yes.
Okay.
Now again, this is medicine, right? Usually they play that age, you know, around 35.
Okay, 35
and above. But again, let me be caution here. Even though I'm a medical doctor, I'm also a Christian.
Okay.
So I always think of it in two ways. Okay. In fact, if it's advanced 35, only 35, I want to be it is a risk factor. In fact, I believe that every stage in your life for pregnancy is a risk factor. Every stage. Okay, but Onyankopon made the body in such a way, say, a bit me withstand, you know, any form of stress.
That's right.
Okay, and yes, so the 35 years, okay, I've seen people who are more than 40 years, my day, or my
okay,
okay, and you know that shouldn't. I want to make this clear. So the bear ends care or be you know, be obedient kun say. You know, like
Dr. Listo will say 35 inches on
exactly. Okay. It's no bit me and come on. We are Christian. You are not bound by medicine. Of course, you're not bound by medicine without reason. Okay. Very important. You are not bound by medicine without reason. Meaning, you told that when you go many penyansa. Me a doctor, you know, but a toda and as a medicine, no, in the public meaning the idea be I shall want to know. A toda it is not reasonable. It been you know, elective abortion, ye can't ready home yeah. It's no, yes. Nimdio ho, young fat near to Yakupon 7 and MY. Yes, we want to chronic medical problems like diabetes, hypertension, risk factors. Okay. You got a risk factor. say and I'm so was no man into no a bit to me how BB.
And on say who was na automatically no ebema wo akọ asay and as unyin say na say. That is what you're trying to explain.
Yes.
But a risk. So it to me ama spontaneous pregnancy abortion no happen.
Okay, I say right? I mean, when you're driving, you feel fear. As soon as you feel fear, you are taking a risk.
That's true.
You know, but it doesn't mean say you don't drive. You know, it's a okay accident. Yes, baby. You're never going to drive.
But that would be our taste that plane crash BST or America or someone who plane view. And I'm saying, waka Ghana.
You know, like train accident, you're very serious. But again, I mean, go New York, look at them food training, and you know, and yes, you know, it is. If I say Nigeria for attack assassin, I say it is risk. It is more risky not to take risk.
Oh yeah, you know, that's true.
It is more risky not to take risk, and it's true, right?
Yeah.
It is risk. I mean, Canada, every day, every year, we have fresh fruits year round. How is that possible?
Very true.
How is that possible? But we eat anyway, you know. You know, so again, so these are some of the things that if you're placing somebody into it, you know, spontaneous abortion. There are different types of spontaneous abortion, but if you're I think
that the point has been well made. Say spontaneous abortion and one due to so many other reasons. One the genetic reason. It could be as a result of that. It could also be as a result of chronic conditions. It be a hypertension, diabetes, probably. Meaning, I sometimes people normally say they say fibroid, is it a chronic condition? And I say it's just where would you place that? Like when himself fibroid also causes miscarriages. Is it a chronic condition?
Yeah, it's not a chronic medical condition. Fibroid is say an anatomical obstruction, you know. On the fibroid is the overgrowth of body tissues.
Okay.
And baby, unfortunately, baby a fibroid no tissues then grow obstruction. Womb no baby.
Okay.
You know, you know, we call that uterine abnormalities.
Okay.
Uterine abnormalities. So we will have fibroid. We will have if I say when you adhesions in the uterine wall, adhesions, just say when you're crone, when you're scars. And so when you cry, that's the chronic war. Scars in the cap was skin, no.
Okay.
When you're crowby when the womb, when you're some, you know, adhesions or, you know, strictures. Okay. But you're feeling no uterine abnormalities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before you proceed, I just mean him say, you don't want to go into the biblical, but let me push you. So from the spontaneous abortion, there are some causes of that. Meaning, back home, there are people who, unfortunately, and all that. Now, sometimes maybe no tie can say any bonnet. So there are some people who believe say there are some spiritual causes of miscarriage. I know, say you're a medical doctor. I don't want to push you into this, but what is your view on that briefly?
Yeah. And this is very I would say you know, it's very interesting, you know, a very interesting ideas. But let me put it this way.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. Do I believe in demons? Of course. I believe in demons, right? Okay, kind. 1 Corinthians you know, in fact, chapter 8 and chapter 10 now. Paul say for a boy emma abosumono or see a bo emma demons.
Yeah.
Okay. Into your harmony or do I believe that demons can have effect on humans? Of course.
Okay.
I believe in that. Obibo dia Eddie Antonia ma bodia. Nese sad now bodio hono. I am pass a wire. Edriani Benyan.
Okay.
Okay, because you can send me. And something say it was even Paul. What's the money say? Dear, what do you a question as or no now we are na
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So we are slaves to whoever we entrust our being
to. Yeah.
The only way you can break the curse is when you entrust yourself under a different authority. And that authority is Jesus Christ.
That's right. Okay. Thank you so much. I like the way you've responded to this question. Yeah, this our question. So, but I really appreciate that. So, your time on no airport. In fact, what I planned for today, it seems that we've barely scratched the surface, but that is very good. It shows that the topic has so many tentacles. Topic. So we will take our time. So yes, you've given us explanation of spontaneous abortion. What's saying even some of the causes medically that could bring about spontaneous abortion. Quickly. The other type. I think I don't put it self-explanatory, but just mention it and then let's see that as well before we conclude.
Okay. And the elective abortion, and that can happen at any stage during the pregnancy. Okay. On say spontaneous, it can say at the stage of 20-week gestation.
Okay.
Now, let me quickly dip in this. After 20 weeks, we don't call it miscarriage. You friend miscarriage and now says spontaneous abortion. Your friend intrauterine demise.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Intrauterine demise. Meaning they see abofran after 20 years abofran enyini anka owo na anka obe survive it. Then I'm say ebi abofran anye ye ewo yefunu mu ntino ebe demise say they only wo.
Yeah.
Okay. After 20 weeks, we call it intrauterine demise. And into a year deliberate or elective abortion at any point during the stage of gestation, you can deliberately, intentionally induce or remove or terminate the child. And no your friend, elective abortion and now induced abortion, and now medication abortion, procedural abortion. Send the one why we say for some reason, opposite terminity about frano. And we will go more into detail. I think that is the point of our focus.
Yeah.
In our discussion, we will go into more details. And briefly, San America say what should I say where they be? Of course, there are so many reasons that will be terminated pregnant. There are so many 1,001 reasons. But when we say, maybe that we will go into that.
All right. Thank you so much. Quickly, just under 5 minutes, and as under 2 minutes, if you can do this for me. What my abortion? What my the different types of abortion we have? Medically speaking, does abortion have a place in it? Is there any relevance of abortion in medicine? And as I said, my doctor for abortion role being a play, and I said, who here being here into what they camp or practice.
Yeah, of course, there are different types of abortion and what might lead to abortion, especially the spontaneous kind of abortion. Now you will say yes, sometimes it will become necessary, and medically warranted to terminate a child. Okay, that is, I'm talking about the spontaneous abortion. So yes, it be about friend say about frano, through imaging and all that. Now, but frano like we say the idea, you know, ABI may require, but remember, you don't intentionally do that, right?
Okay.
God has made it in such a way that the child will not survive development. And it will come out by itself.
I think that is an interesting point. So Onyankopon Kasanga doesn't even want you to put on personal the guilt and the better the paso. So he has designed the body in such a way that it do a certain stage that the body itself takes that decision, devoid of you. So the guilt is not the guilt of bloodshed, as it were, would not be on the person. I think that's an interesting point.
Exactly. And I have to be honest here that yes, there may be rare situations where, you know, both the parents and then the physician who is, you know, like who is going to do the procedure in rare situations will come to agreement that because of this, that, and that, you know, let's proceed with what? With termination. Again, I use the word rare reasons, very, very rare reasons. And I think when it comes to the, you know, what the reason why people would intentionally terminate pregnancy,
we will
look at some of these rare, very, very rare reasons, you know, because I know, say, you know, again, chipping a little bit of law. I know, say, in Ghana law, even though abortion is not entirely, you know, legal, there are situations where, according to the code, according to Ghana law, so it'll be so almost a pregnancy would be risk for the mother. I think that according to Ghana law, they allow for that. But again, even that, as a Christian, I have, you know, my own resentment because they talk about incest and rape. Of course, rape and incest is not part of the rare reasons. So let me quickly chip that in. It is not part of the rare reason to terminate, you know, a child. It's very, very rare. I would say less than 0.0001%.
Wow. Let's just say from your view, from your view, the need for elective abortion, is very very minimal. Very minuscule, like very minuscule.
Yep.
We will delve deeper into that. So your time on no airport it's here for any actual for I think that you've enjoyed this discussion so much, and next week, we will continue from where we have ended, and we will delve deeper, much deeper, into some of the reasons why people go through the procedure, and even try and then go into the procedure itself and see. Some people think it's how Uncle abortion. People really don't know how it's done, but we will expose it, and as we will try and then shed some light on the procedure. Then you consider and see whether a humane procedure, and I say it is a barbaric procedure. You wait for yourself, and then you decide, because some people have been made to believe that it's just some procedure BKK just to take out a blob of blood somewhere, and it has nothing to do with maybe as it were murder and as something like that. But we will provide that avenue for Dr. Listowel Safo to enlighten us on the procedures they use in the medical field in performing some of these elective abortions. So that will be the focus of the discussion, hopefully, next week. But Nedye, Monfancheme, Mekasen Kamekin Kaimo, friend is saying comments, but yen to me can. So Nyankoponya Adumwa, but leave your comments. If you have any questions, I'll say, Dr. Etache Honor, kindly drop them in the comment section. Hopefully, Nyankoponya Adumna say about next week. That will be the first point on my agenda. We will tackle those questions first, and then we will proceed on further. So thank you so much, Dr. Listowel. That was saying. In fact, I have enjoyed the discussion, and I hope so my viewers and my listeners have also enjoyed the discussion. I'll leave you with the final remark, if you have one, ansana yede eye enadwumade ni nyina aba ewiye.
Oh, me that say Bio say we invite me about a year with Jumedi, so I'm very honored, to speak on your program. And Metifo na me say a discussion na a very sensitive, said the Unyana Kaino. It may stress in to was here. Na yenso Yakupon say Omea Domini Timinia Emuntia Siye. Na moai titru ewo ye Kristo sumu ni anifo ewo Nyankopon anim. That's it.
Yada wase papa say ne dey so wajebre na wone yen ababeche eye abortion from the medical perspective. Nyankopon nya adomo a that's ne ebesan so ababeto aso. Yakra mu nyina.